Hello everyone, this is CJNovo992 and today we're back for another brand new video. A video, I'll be honest with you, I wasn't expecting to make for a little while just yet, because on paper everything suggested that Sam Lammers would become Eduardo Herrera and be surrounded with failed loan after failed loan and slowly but surely fade into the background before his contract is eventually released, being constantly remembered and constantly talked about as the guy, oh aye, we spent money on him, oh aye, he's draining resources. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm here to sit here and tell you, we need to talk about Sam Lammers. Now, I know the name Sam Lammers is going to get a very spicy actual response. People shouting their response either this way or this way. And I get that, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to try and cover all angles of the Sam Lammers situation right here. As again, his name brings up such a fiery conversation. And I'd love to know where you actually sit with it. Because right now, as it stands, Sam Lammers has just broke a Dutch record for scoring consecutive matches for his side. No, I'm not joking. But before we chew on that chapter of the story, let's pull it all the way back to the start and tell the tale of Sam Lammers and how we got to this situation and how he is where he is. Because Sam Lammers joined us after a very, very disappointing spell in his career that lasted a couple years after initially bursting onto the scene with an incredible season in Dutch football. Boy, that sounds familiar. He then went on to bounce around 5 clubs over the next 3 and a bit years where he really struggled for any sort of impact. But we said at the time he was Beale's biggest gamble, and he came here and unfortunately the gamble didn't pay out, as he played a total of 31 times for Rangers, in which he had 2 goals and 2 assists. Now, because it's such an important part of the Sam Lammers story, it is worth mentioning he played just twice as the out-and-out striker. Once versus Greenock Morton, where he was substituted off after 57 minutes after failing to bring any impact into a really poor, uninspired actual performance. And the other game where he actually played as a number 9 for Rangers is the one that's probably infamous with the man Sam Lammers in your memory banks, especially if you're a Rangers fan. It's when he came on versus Celtic at Ibrox, rounded the keeper and missed an open goal. I think it's fair to say he didn't take any of his 2 chances to really lead the line at Rangers. However, it's got to be said, the opportunity that he whiffed at Rangers, he grabbed with both hands for Utrecht as he went over to Dutch football. And so far at my current time of recording, he has played 15 games in total as their number 9. And in that run, he has 9 goals and 3 assists. And again, broke the record for consecutive goals scored for his team in Dutch football. Wildly different results. But the keen listeners of this video might be wondering why I keep continually talk about played as an out and out number 9, and the reason I'm actually doing that, ladies and gentlemen, the reason I'm highlighting it is because it's one of the major conversation points. A lot of people argue in favour now of Sam Lammers because they see him doing well, and more importantly, it's something that Sam Lammers has said himself when he was sort of asked about why he went wrong at Rangers, etc, etc. He pretty much said he wasn't played in his best position, which is actually the number 9. Now he is getting played in his number 9, and he's quite clearly showing terrific results. And because of those results, and because of what the man's actually said, and the fact that he only ever truly led the line at Rangers twice in his 31 actual performances, that's got a lot of people talking, and that's got a lot of people asking the question, have we made a mistake regarding Sam Lammers? And on the surface level, it is really a good argument to actually have, and it is something you can actually say. But I like to go a little bit deeper right here in the channel and really look at every angle of a story, and that's what we're kind of trying to do here. We're going to dive deeper into we used Sam Lammers wrong, or we failed Sam Lammers, by really getting to the truth. They say the truth will set you free, so let's find out if that's the case then, shall we? Were we holding Sam Lammers back? Are we at fault for Sam Lammers not playing to his level? Well, let's have a look at it, ladies and gentlemen, because if you look at this man's career, we are the only anomaly that's actually out there in terms of not believing in him as a number 9 and not playing him in his strongest position, if you will. Because if you look at the season before he joined Rangers, he played for 2 separate sides in the top flight of the Italian football, and over that loan he played 34 games in total for both sides. Do you know how many he scored playing as the number 9 out of 34 games? Twice, ladies and gentlemen. The season before that, when he was over in the Bundesliga playing for Frankfurt, didn't go there, troops. I just can't do it. But as played as a number 9, do you know how many times he scored out the 24 appearances he made for Frankfurt? 2 times. Troops. So then we go a year back playing for Atalanta, the team that spent all the money on him, that backed him as a number 9, that was impressed as him as a number 9, that gave him an opportunity as a number 9. Do you know what he rewarded them with? I think you know where I'm going with this, but after 18 games leading the line for Atalanta, he had scored just twice. So I think if you take a step back and you look at his last 4 years of his career, taking everything into consideration, he has had plenty of opportunities to play as the number 9. He just hasn't performed. However, and this is where it gets very interesting when you talk about Sam Lammers, the last time this laddie performed at an exceptionally high level before his record-breaking run in Dutch football that we're seeing this season, he played a total of 35 games. He had 19 goals and he had 5 assists all the way back in the 2018-19 season. I'll give you one guess in the comments section below. What league do you think that he scored and performed at that exceptionally high level in? That's right, you guessed it, Dutch football. And I think that right there is the biggest conversation point, and that right there is the most important conversation point when you talk about Sam Lammers' young career so far. The kid's still just 26 years old, and clearly he's immensely talented on an individual level. His skill, I know what people are going to say because we didn't always see it in a Rangers shirt, he's clearly a very talented player. You didn't get scouted and bought for all this money if you've not got a wee bit of something. Didn't mention Fabio Silva. I'm trying to have a real conversation right now. He's clearly a very talented footballer, and he has showed that in major spells in his career, but every major spell in his career when he's performed at that level, it's been in Dutch football. Every other league this man has played in, and every other club this man outwhipped of Dutch football that he's played with, he's actually struggled and struggled massively. And it's probably gone back to something you've heard many times, maybe for your father, granddad, your brothers, whatever you're doing, whenever stage you are in life, you've heard this before. Some people just suit certain leagues, and I think that is the biggest talking point you can have, and that's my biggest takeaway in looking at this man's entire career, is he excels in Dutch football, the free-flowing Dutch football that is all about attacking football. Every team in the league plays the same way. There's a lot of space. His creativity, his individual skill, he beats one man, then he's got a shot on goal, he beats one man and he's able to score a goal. You beat one man in Scottish football, you've got 10 other yins right in front of you parking the bus trying to block you from getting a shot away. That is the massive difference. There is no park the bus in Dutch football, really, in your opinion. That's why he seems to excel. He struggled in Germany, where there's a lot more defensively minded teams. He struggled massively in Italy over several spells, again in a league that has strong defenders and bodies in there. And again, he came up here out of position or no, his individual skill, his wee quick turn, his wee this, couldn't he create gaps when there was no gaps to actually be created? And aye, he's just a guy, for me, that clearly suits the league that he's currently playing and excelling in. So for the people that keep sending me the goals or tagging me in his Instagram goals and everything like that, or asking me in the comment section below, did we make a mistake in Sam Lammers? Have you seen Sam Lammers scoring goals? Yes, I've seen him scoring goals, but in my personal opinion, and again it's just my opinion, I'm just a regular guy that's looking at everything the same as you. The way I look at it, no, we never made a mistake. No, we haven't wasted Sam Lammers. He's a very talented player, but he's only ever been talented in one league, in one position, ladies and gentlemen, and that's not something we can actually replicate. The physicality, the part, the bus, it just seems to no fit him at all. And for me, you can see him doing well, and it's not a sickener when I see him, or anything. If I see him scoring goals and breaking the records, I'm not sitting saying, oh, for God's sake, that makes me sick, he couldn't do it here, blah, blah, blah. Sometimes the shot's too heavy, and sometimes players didn't work out. We've signed a lot of good players over the years that came here and no worked out. And then on the flip side, we've signed players we've been, what are we signing him for? And then they turned out to be an absolute revelation. It's always a gamble whenever you move, and unfortunately for Sam Lammers, and probably for us, the gamble hasn't worked out, and aye, he's just better in Dutch football, and the better he does, ladies and gentlemen, is a sensational thing for us, because that means there will be some real interest at the end of the season, because it's hard to ignore. He's tweeted out, he's getting applause for hangies, he's winning player of the match, he's player of the month, he's getting talked up for this and talked up for that. That's great for us. Didn't look look at it as a bad thing or something to be kicking our heels on. It's not going to work with Lammers at our club, so the better he does, the more chance that someone comes in and nibbles and takes a gamble on this man. Again, I would be surprised if it's another team around Europe, because I think maybe, just maybe, if it's clear to somebody like me, someone that actually knows the game, can kind of see he clearly excels in one area. But if you were a Dutch club, there is nothing stopping you from bringing that lad in, because again, he is immensely talented, and he's shown in through his entire career in Dutch football, the only place he's ever been consistently a threat is in that league. So if he keeps going playing the way he's playing, for me, a Dutch football team will come in, snap him up, and I can see him be one of those guys that constantly we get asked, I can't believe he's scoring that many goals and we gave him up. It's not a bad thing, ladies and gentlemen. I just didn't think it's going to work. The better he does, the more chance he's got to moving on. And that's a betterment for his football club. To answer the only other question I've seen fired my way, just to cover all the angles regarding the laddie, do you think his success over there is going to change how we feel about him? Honestly, no, because I don't think you have as many injuries or / injury prone players in the attacking areas that we do as a football club, and sign off on loaning a guy you just spent £3.5 million on if you think an ounce of you sees a future where I'm at this football club. That's just how I actually feel. I don't think we'd have loaned them out at the time, given what we've got as available, if Clement fancied them at all as a Rangers player. So to answer that question, I think no matter how many goals he scores, could he come back here and maybe win Clement back over? I didn't think so, or he wouldn't have been shipped out. The man is perfect for Dutch football, and hopefully that brings us a lot of money. It's no sickening, it's sensational, and hopefully moves on at the end of the season. What we need to do, ladies and gentlemen, is go and identify people that's perfect and suits this league, and maybe that is lowering the nose a wee bit. Stop being so snobby, stop looking down on so many players. If someone's bright in a team around Scottish football, guess what? Good players get better when they play with better players. Go and pick them up. Successful Rangers teams have always been built on that aspect, and I just think whereas I'll be able to watch all different leagues all the time now, and all this social media stuff, all everyone's expectations, everyone's noses. I didn't want anybody for Scottish football. I want this guy, he's got a Z in his name. That's unusual. Need to let that all go, ladies and gentlemen. There is actually some sprinkled in talent in Scottish football that I genuinely think could be a benefit to this Rangers team. And if you are still watching today's video, would you like me to make that video of the 5 players that's actually impressed me that I think might be worth a gamble? I didn't really make those videos because I don't know if you are actually interested in them, but there's a couple people in this league that suit Scottish football that I think could be a benefit of Rangers going in to next year. And if you want me to make that video, let me know down in the comment section below. If you didn't, I won't make it. But that's how I feel about Sam Lammers. Hopefully I've covered all the conversation points, but again, that's just my opinion on it. How do you feel? Do you think he should be given an opportunity? Do you think we did fail him by not giving him the opportunity as a 9? Let me know down there in the comment section below. I'm very interested to see how you're feeling. That's my take on Lammers. What about yours? As always, I've been Siege over 92. Thank you so much for watching. All the best, and goodbye.